Hi guys! In my last video I showed you how to make a sci-fi outfit for an alien girl, and in this video I'll be showing you how to make the alien girl. This doll is actually for Sionnainnw on Instagram. She was my partner for the Galaxy Glamour Swap hosted by RetroDollUS. Looking at my partner's Pinterest page, I saw a few cute alien girls, some with green skin, so my first thought was to use Frankie Stein as a base. She's got the right skin tone for this project, and I've been wanting to try out her face mold for a while, so this is the perfect opportunity for me to use her. And I finally have a Frankie in my stock box. Let's pull her out. Oh my. Yes, this doll came to me with a few problems. She arrived smelling a little of smoke, but after I chopped off all her hair and sat her in a bag with some dryer sheets and some dried herbs for a few days, she got the smell out of her. But she still had these weird patches of sticky stuff on her. I washed her down with soap and water, but nothing seemed to get it off. I thought that maybe I could take it off with nail polish remover, so let's first take off the factory paint with 100% acetone, just like usual. Then I got to the body, and I switched over to a regular nail polish that supposedly has acetone as its main ingredient. That did nothing. Well, I also need to remove the stitches from her arms and legs, and some of my friends on Discord recommended sanding those off. And with the sanding, luckily that got all that weird sticky stuff off too. Once she was thoroughly buffed, I washed her with soap and water again. Lastly, I need to take out her neck bolt. To do that, I simply grabbed hold nice and tight with a pair of pliers and yanked it out. There was another little piece of plastic in her throat, so I just sanded that down with my nail file block. From then on, it was business as usual. Scrape the inside of the head, yank all the glue chunks out through the neck, and she's clean. For the blushing on this doll, I kept it in a range of greens, though I mixed in quite a bit of blue into each color. I was considering blushing with shades of purple since her hair and eyes will be lilac, but I thought that the green-blue looked better as a skin tone. I contoured the cheeks, highlighted under the eye and on the nose, and went with a soft natural color on the lips. I really love how Monster High girls look with just a little flush to their lips rather than a defined lipstick. Next, I sketch in the eyes with a medium green color, picking out the shape that I want. For this alien girl, I thought elongated, slightly slanted eyes would look cool. I also spaced her eyes just a touch further apart than I usually would to increase the alienness of her features. I sketch out the shape and placement of her irises in a dark purple. I like using a dark color on the outermost ring of the iris. It makes the eyes pop and look bigger, which is why you'll usually see a dark ring on the outside of circle contact lenses. I fill in the circle with a light lilac, and then fill in the whites of the eyes. At this point, I tried to do the eyebrows. I pick up a little lilac chalk with my brush and blob it on around where I want the eyebrows to go. This is sort of a messy way to do things. I've seen other artists who can just draw the brows on with their pencils, and I'm not sure what kind of black magic you have to be able to do that, but I'm just not that talented yet. I just blob and then go back in with a kneaded eraser to clean up the shape. For the lashes, I decided to fill them in with my darkest purple rather than black. I thought this would match well with her hair and would also give a softer look to her eyes and face, and I've got to say I really like how it turned out. I've used my pitch black for the eyeliner and lashes on every doll I've done so far, so trying something a little different like this was fun. I might have to do it more often. So I filmed this doll before Jacob from Blank Space Dolls and I did our Flower Girl collab, and before we did our supply swap, so I didn't have the General's chalk pencil for the eye whites at this point, and I'm already such a convert that I'm looking at this footage going, it would have made everything so much easier. Seriously, when you're trying to do a light colored iris, it really helps to be able to put down a nice opaque white and build color from there rather than simply trying to obliterate whatever skin tone your doll has with layers and layers and layers of pencil and MSC. Obviously you can do it, but like, oh my god, it takes so much longer. Anyway. Since I didn't have the General's pencil, I have to go back over the face with my teeny tiniest brush, picking up pigment straight from my pencils. There's a lot of back and forth with this, and if you do it this way, I'd suggest spraying Mr. Super Clear often, whenever you want to save your progress or when you're trying to add shading to a color. With the face finally finished, I moved on to the hair. For this doll, I thought little space buns would be super adorable and very fitting, and the only way that I know of to make space buns is with yarn. Luckily, RetroDollUS has you covered with yarn. She has a number of nice colors available over on the website. I'll leave a link in the description box below. I got 2 bags just to be sure, but I could have easily skated by on one for this hairstyle. I'm using Mozekito's method, of course, and I'll put a link to that in the description box as well. The last thing to do with this doll is my favorite part of the custom. I thought that giving her a fade on her extremities would look really cool, so I broke out my airbrush and mixed up a color that complemented her hair color. I wanted to match the hair, but I wasn't able to get quite that awesome shade of bright purple with my primary colors. Not sure why, everything I did turned out too washed out in comparison. I settled for a darker shade of purple, and I think it came out looking pretty cool. It definitely gives her a nice pop of color. This is the first time I've done a fantasy skin tone, and if I'm honest, I was a little worried about it. I'm not used to blushing green skin, or working with something that's not supposed to look like a human, but I think she turned out looking really cool. She's got a sort of edgy, seductive look to her that I think fits a 50s inspired alien girl really well. Her name is Zemira Zehr. Some of you reached out with concerns that this swap is supposed to be a surprise, and that's still true. The original deadline was the end of April, and it got pushed out to the end of May. Thankfully, both RetroDollUS and my partner were kind enough to work with me and let me send out Zemira early and post this video on the original deadline, and I'm really grateful to them for that. Zemira arrived at Sionnainnw several days before the last video was put up, so she was able to see her doll before anybody else did, so don't worry about that. I'm really happy I got Sionnainnw as my partner for this swap. I don't know if I ever would have made a doll with this skin tone if I hadn't. And I had a lot of fun making her. If you like Zemira, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more doll content. I put out a new video every other Thursday. You can follow me on Instagram for more behind the scenes stuff and sneak peeks. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now! I just blob and then go back in with blah blah blah.